So Network World had some reporting on this, and I paraphrased it a bit. And this is their title was "Cops Use Pacemaker Data to Charge Homeowner with Arson and Insurance Fraud." They wrote, police called. They said if you're dependent upon an embedded medical device, should the device that helps keep you alive also be allowed to incriminate you in a crime? After all, the Fifth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution protects a person from being forced to incriminate themselves. Nonetheless, that's what happened after a house fire in Middletown, Ohio. WCPO Cincinnati, which is a TV station, caught video of the actual fire, as well as they delivered the news that the owner's cat died in the fire. And then they editorialized, as a pet owner, it would be hard to believe that a person would set a fire and leave their pet to perish in that fire. The fire in question occurred in September of 2016, so a few months ago. The fire department was just starting an investigation to determine the cause of the blaze. A month later, 59-year-old homeowner Ross Compton was arrested and charged with a felony aggravated arson and insurance fraud. The cause of the fire was still undetermined, but it had resulted in $400,000 in damages to the house and contents of the 20,000-square-foot home. Fire investigators knew there had been, quote, and this was suspicious, multiple points of origin of the fire from the outside of the residence. At the time, the police cited inconsistencies in Compton's statements when compared with the evidence from the fire. There were additional conflicting statements given to the 911 operator. Compton had said, quote, everyone was out of the house, yet the 911 operator also heard him tell someone to get out of here now. The 911 call published by WLWT5, an out-of-breath Compton claimed he had, quote, grabbed a bunch of stuff, threw it out the window. He claimed to have packed his suitcases, broken the glass out of bedroom window with his walking stick, and tossed the suitcases outside. Compton also told the dispatcher he had a, quote, an artificial heart, which he didn't have. After this, things really got interesting because police investigators used data from Compton's, maybe it was artificial, because the term is pacemaker elsewhere. So Compton's electronic heart device against him. And the question is, isn't that self-incrimination? Can a person plead the fifth when it comes to self-incriminating data collected from their medical device?
I don't think so. I'm no judge, but
I agree.
They can collect your fingerprint. I don't know why they couldn't collect pacemaker information.
Yeah, I agree. Police set out to disprove Compton's story about the fire by obtaining a search warrant to collect data from Compton's pacemaker. WLWT5 reported that the cops wanted to know, quote, Compton's heart rate, pacer demand, and cardiac rhythms before, during, and after the fire. Then on January 27th, just 2 weeks ago, the Journal News reported that court documents stated, quote, a cardiologist who reviewed the data determined it is highly improbable Mr. Compton would have been able to collect, pack, and remove the number of items from the house, exit his bedroom window, and carry numerous large and heavy items to the front of his residence during the short period of time he has indicated due to his medical conditions. Middletown police said this was the first time it had used data from a heart device to make an arrest, but the pacemaker data proved to be an, quote, excellent investigative tool. The data from the pacemaker didn't correspond with Compton's version of what happened. The retrieved data, therefore, helped to make the indictment. So, yes, another instance of, we've talked about malicious attacks against things like insulin pumps and pacemakers in the past. But and then we were just recently talking about somebody who there was a murder in a hot tub, and at between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. some huge amount of water was monitored and recorded from the person's IoT water meter. And so we're seeing increasing instances where, police are being creative in gathering forensics evidence from all of the electronic things that surround us. Yikes.